the walls are now officially closing in on the imploding Joe Biden presidency because as prices rise, as costs surge, as you, the American people, continue to suffer under this failing far-left extreme Biden-Harris agenda, well, your President Joey's approval numbers continue to hit one low after another. And get this, according to a brand new New York Times Siena poll, even the New York Times has Biden's approval at a dismal 33%, with Biden underwater with nearly every demographic, including young voters and independents. Now, the paper of record itself, the New York Times, they now appear to be turning on Biden, running yet another anti-Biden piece this weekend. This article entitled, quote, "At 79, Biden is testing the boundaries of age and the presidency," going into great detail about how the White House staff is in a full-fledged panic about Biden's struggles. Now, the piece reads, quote, "He often shuffles when he walks, and aides worry that he's going to trip on a wire. He stumbles over words during public events, and they hold their breath to see if he makes it to the end without a gaffe." Now, it comes as the president and Democrats continue to play one blame game after another. Let's see. First, they blame the pandemic. Then they blame Russia, and Vladimir Putin. And, of course, you always blame the rich people. Then you blame big oil and gas station owners. Then you blame Fox News, Donald Trump, and every Republican. Biden tweeting today, quote, "Republicans are doing nothing but obstructing our incredible, heroic efforts to crack down on gas price gouging, lower food prices, lower health care costs, and hopefully soon lower your prescription drug costs." But the American people, they're not buying any of this, including Democrats, because that New York Times poll also finds a whopping 64% of Democrats, yeah, they see what's going on. They want someone else besides Joe Biden running in 2024. Now, of course, that means some Democrats are finally waking up to what we have been showing you night after night after night. We used to joke about it, but it's not funny anymore. Your President Joe Biden is weak, frail, and he is a cognitive wreck. And he continues to suffer one bizarre blunder after another. Here's Biden making yet another teleprompter flub, actually reading the cue instructions. You're not supposed to read them. You know, say it again, repeat it. Yeah, you're not supposed to read that part. Anyway, he did it, and he did it out loud, and then they lied about it. Take a look.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and/or political, or maybe precise, not or political power.
Repeat. Oh, Joe, you're not supposed to read the cues. Maybe your staff needs to make one of those little cards again. Walk into the room, say hello, sit down, listen attentively, say goodbye, walk out. But baffling gaffes appear to run in the Biden family. Earlier today, your First Lady, Jill Biden, said this during a Latinx conference in San Antonio. Take a look.
Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Unique as the breakfast taco. Imagine if a Republican said that. It would be probably breathless hysteria from the media mob for days on end, if not weeks. Ask yourself, with the Biden White House in this much disarray, more than ever, as with the Democrats, more divided than ever, where did Democrats go from here? Ask yourself that question. What is their plan B for 2024? Is it Kamala Harris, Mayor Pete, Elizabeth Warren, Gavin Newsom? Because the more we see Vice President Harris, she might have thought she was the heir apparent. It's more obvious every day that her never-ending word salads don't make sense. It may very quickly take her out of contention for 2024 and beyond altogether. Now, see if you can decipher and understand her answer to a recent question about the Supreme Court's abortion ruling. See if you can make sense of this.
I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right. And that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Okay, I got it. Anyway, Harris's failures don't stop there. Let me play a small sample of the vice president's lowlights, this propensity she has to repeat words in one sentence over and over and over again. Take a look.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids and saying, we're not paying them nearly enough. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. Now, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
You got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Seriously, with the passage of time. And then, of course, inappropriate giggling by our giggling vice president. Now, remember, beyond all the blunders, beyond all the word salads, failed far-left climate alarmist cult and their policies there, what is at the core of Biden's failures? Well, we have failed energy policies, failed border policies, failed foreign policy. It's day 331, if you're counting, of Joe Biden abandoning our fellow Americans in Afghanistan. And the warning signs on the Biden economy could not be any louder as the president continues to put in America Last policies and put U.S. energy security completely at risk. Don't forget, this all started the second Joe Biden took office. Remember, he canceled the Keystone XL pipeline, but he simultaneously gave a waiver for Vladimir Putin to build the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, giving Putin more leverage over our allies in Western Europe. It was Joe Biden who put more restrictions on drilling. It was Joe Biden who continues to attack the U.S. oil and gas industry. It was Joe Biden who still has no solutions to make American energy and us energy independent. Like Donald Trump, he inherited a country that was energy independent. And get this, a new report from Bloomberg says natural gas prices have now soared over 700% across Europe since the start of this year alone, threatening a worldwide recession and even more surging inflation. But does your President Joe have any answers to avoid going down the same failed path as Europe? Or will the far-left climate cultists continue to set the agenda and continue to make Americans and all of us and our economy needlessly suffer so Democrats can try and, turn their far-left climate policy fantasies into what they think is reality? Biden is, well, in as much control as ever. As ahead of his trip to Saudi Arabia, we know why he's going there. He's basically going there to get on his knees, kiss the ring and kiss the ass of the crown prince that he called a murderer, that he said murdered Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist, in the nation that he called a pariah nation during the campaign. But that was during the campaign. He didn't mean it. Joe is going to beg for more oil production. When meanwhile, we've got hundreds of years of our own supply of oil, gas, and coal right here in this country. Why don't we go back to being energy independent and paying $2 a gallon for gasoline instead of $5? What exactly does Joe think he's going to accomplish here? Especially as leaders around the world, our allies, our adversaries alike, see nothing but weakness, see his nonstop failures, and they know darn well he's not up to this job. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.